want to give you kind of a quick cook's tour of the course site so you can find your assignments and quickly and dive into them. You probably start on this page. It's the Start Here link. Not much happens here. I think I put a welcome message and some quick tips on technology that you can look at. I will be adding some announcements through this semester. There are none at the moment, but um, uh, that's where you'll find them. I think I've hidden this link for you because I don't have many alerts, but the announcements work well for that. Your syllabus and schedule is someplace you should start at. I don't know that I'll do this uh, for every unit, but I've got kind of a quick getting started for the first 2 weeks, so to kind of an outline of things that you can work on right away. We follow a very similar pattern through each of the units we're working on. So once you get through the first unit well, you'll know what we're doing for the rest of the semester. But be sure to click on the syllabus there. Um, Read it carefully. I'm not going to go over too much detail now. You can do that. But in the middle of it, whoops, you will see our assignments. You'll notice that 10% of your grade comes from some lab activities. Those are online. It's just helping you use technology for note-taking skills. Um, so that's 10% of your grade. You've got 5 units, each one leading up to an essay. There's some pre-writing activities. We emphasize in this class all the pre-writing activities that build up to a good, strong essay. So you can see that's about half your grade for each unit. And then the finished copy, this includes your rough draft, by the way, and then your essay is about half your grade. Let me scroll back. Here's an outline that will give you your reading assignments for the semester. You might want to print this off and keep a copy in your books or keep it handy. It'll help keep you on track here. Let me scroll to the first week. So you'll have reading assignments listed here, and your major writing assignments kind of listed here. And this gives you the dates of each week. We've got about 8 weeks, so we move pretty quickly. Let me close that. Units and lessons. This is really where you'll go to probably the most to find information about your assignments. I'll click on Unit 1. And as you can see, as I mouse over these, there are different steps or parts, and you're meant to do them in chronological order here. The first is just a quick little overview letting you know the similarity and the importance between reading and writing. Much of your pre-writing activities ask you to think critically and carefully about some of your reading assignments and then respond in some way to that. Much of that thought process is identical to the invention process that you use when you're writing your own papers. And I'm just drawing that comparison kind of quickly there. Every unit will begin with 3 pre-writing activities. The first one is this exercise in careful reading, getting good information out of the sources that you'll be using. So even though I may ask you to read the whole chapter, I want you to focus particularly on these 3 to get started and answer these questions. Write a few sentences that explains what the article's about. So you'll read this article cut by Bob Greene. Tell me what it's about. Tell me your familiarity with the topic. And this could be a sentence or 2. It doesn't have to be elaborate. Describe how he develops this topic, what major points he'll make along the way, and give kind of a review of how do you think what audience was this intended for? Is it effective? Is it biased? That kind of thing. And then this last one, oftentimes we have a hard time remembering material that we've reviewed or read carefully, and sometimes looking for a key sentence or statement within there. Maybe it's a topic sentence or thesis statement, or just a good quote that will remind you of the rest of the article. It relates so well to what the article is about. Uh, anyway, it's helpful. Uh, we can't remember everything that's written in an article, but sometimes we can remember a sentence or one major idea, and then all the other ideas kind of get linked to it. So that's what this is asking you to do. These 5 questions, and you'll respond all 5 of them to this one, and then this one, and this one. That's your pre-writing activity, the first one. The second one is to reflect on, these are related, or often closely related, and I want you, or have something in common, or even when they don't, there's one of these that really struck you as interesting. I want you to develop your essay topic that you plan to write on for your first essay. And that's all I'm asking you to do with this. A few sentences, a short paragraph. Tell me what your essay is going to be about and why you're interested in it. And so I can help you if you get off track a little bit. Most of the assignments in the class ask you to integrate a source from your reading assignments. So oftentimes you're linking it to one of the major ideas that comes out of this. Then I'll want you to work on your rough draft. It needs to have a beginning, middle, and end. And that will be kind of complete your process. I tell you how this pre-writing assignment is graded, those 3 different activities, how well of a job you do with them. And each time you want to upload one of these activities, so you've done this first one or all of them, however you want to do that, you just click Unit 1 Journals, and it takes you to our Journals area. You can also get there by clicking this shortcut right over here. But you can click Unit 1, and it's as simple as clicking Create Journal Entry. And there's a text box here where you can type away. When you write your rough draft, you can just copy and paste in this area, and that'll work as well. It gives you the option of uploading files. You can just browse your computer and upload a file. But it's probably just as easy to compose it here. If you are composing something long, you'd be wise to do it offline and then paste it in here, because I'd hate for you to lose your internet connection and lose your hard work. But anyway, you would just enter it there and then click Submit, and that would post it to your journal. You can turn it in all as one file, or you can have multiple files. It doesn't matter, as long as it'll come stamped with your name, and only I will see it, and I'll be able to figure out which is which, or you might give me a clue in the title here. You have kind of a word processing thing as well, so you can add different fonts and colors if you're into that. Okay, let me go back to units and lessons. And Unit 1. So you've started working on your pre-writing assignments. Here are the instructions. Every time you want to upload something, you'll go to your journals area. Here's your actual essay topic. Give you tips on how to get started with that, and I tell you how it will be graded. You will save that as a word processing file and upload it using this link down here. Also included a sample works cited page. If you haven't documented a source in MLA style before, you might find this helpful. I grade very leniently on those first few because I realize it's new to many of you. But before the end of the semester, I want everybody to be very, very good at this. You'll be using it quite a bit in English 1302, so I want to make sure you're ready for that class. And you'll be using it in your other classes as well. But more about that later. This is the assignment Dropbox. I'll go ahead and click on that. Real simple. You can give me a comment if you want to. Don't have to. But you click Browse your computer, find your file, and attach it, and then click Submit, and that sends it to me. It has the due date of your assignment. It's midnight on April 9th on Tuesday. That's not right. November 4th. I've got to go in and change these dates. In fact, I think they're going to turnitin.com, and I think I'm not using that this semester. But so I need to fix those dates. So don't ignore that for a minute, and I'll get that done this week. Okay, let me go back to units and lessons. Unit 1. And I'll scroll to the bottom. After you turn in your essay, again, I'll update this later. I have an online lab activity that I want you to work on. This is what I'm asking you to do is create an account in a program called Evernote. It's on the internet. As simple as entering your email address to set up the account. And then make some quick responses. After reading this article and your assigned readings, answer this question. And do it on this note-taking service or platform that's out there. Do the same thing with the other 3, and then save your file. I'll give you step-by-step instructions, but you'll save your file on that server, on your account, and then you'll create a link by clicking a few buttons. So create a URL address or web address that you will then send to me in an email message. I'll be able to click on that link or enter it in my web browser and view your note on that platform. I want you to do this because it's very helpful for maintaining your notes through your whole academic career. It's not just this class. It's a very interesting tool, and it's being used quite often in business now. Kind of like Google Docs is a great way of sharing information and keeping track of information. This is based on your reading assignment. This step I don't want you to worry about until you've submitted your first essay, and then you've had time to reflect on how well that was. What do you think you were? I asked you to answer these 4 questions. What were you really good at? What did you need to work on? Is there a section in your handbook that you can identify that might help you with some of your weaknesses or improve your strengths, however you want to do that? Just make your honest answer to that so that you've thought about your own writing and your own writing process. And then I have a grading rubric for that. So you're posting 2 things, or if you do these individually, I'd go ahead and put these all on one posting, but you could do 3 separate postings and then another one there. But you can do these right away if you want, but wait and do this one until after you've turned in your first essay. Let me click on that and give you kind of a quick walkthrough. This is a hyperlink, I believe. Did I forget to include? I forgot to include a hyperlink. I'll do that too. It's evernote.com. Actually, I probably got to upload instructions on that later. I'll do that in a minute. Okay. That'll be my next video. You've got, you don't have those links. You have course messages. If you want to send me a message, just click Create Message. You can click the to line, the whole class roster shows up. Mine has the name instructor by it. It's Taylor. Click your arrow that moves it over there. Put something on your subject line and type your message, and then just click Submit. I'll hit Cancel there. Very easy to use. You'll have your own inbox to look at those messages. And you can look at messages that you sent out. Discussion board, half of you have already posted your introductions. That's great. I'll probably create another forum that has tips on how to complete your assignments for each of the units or some of them, as I see a need for it. So you'll look at this area from time to time. Again, that's your shortcut to the journals that we just talked about. And I think that's all I want to show you on this video. I'll give you a step-by-step guide on those labs on how to use the